Getting into Haileybury was a turning point into my life and in my journey as a whole.
So I think the key challenges when applying for the scholarship was definitely my interview round.
You know, from Kazakh public school to private British curriculum.
It is now that I can say that applying and getting into Haileybury was a very interesting and a good choice of mine.
That was really something, you know, that happened really suddenly, but also it meant like really something big in my life.
Adaptation period starts from the moment I came in here, from the first word I've said, because I had to say hello in English, not in other languages. So English was not a problem for long, like a week or another, and then we were all set and ready to go.
So I think the key challenges when applying for the scholarship was definitely my interview round. It was a bit intimidating because obviously these were people that I was not personally familiar with, but I think I'm really happy that they enjoyed my interview and that I was able to get the scholarship, but I'd probably say that that was the most difficult round, especially since it was also the last round, so it was kind of like the break it or make it kind of point.
I was really worried whether I can get it or not, and I really wanted to study here. So when I received the scholarship, it was a big surprise and a big happy event for me.
I think the biggest obstacle was the stress before, during, and after the exams.
I applied 2 times. First, I applied to the Maths Olympiad, however, I didn't make it in. And then I applied to the Science Olympiad, and I got in through the Science Olympiad specifically.
They're looking at what other students are doing, and they're particularly looking at what the year 13s, so the scholars who have already been here 1 year. And they're the ones who are telling the new scholars, saying, hey, you're not in FISMAT anymore, you're in a different school. Change your mentality, get involved in the school, get that leadership qualities that you need, get involved in stuff. And so we do, the first term is complicated, but then they do change, and by the time they're in year 13, they're fully integrated in the school. And most of them, many of them, are fully integrated into the extracurricular, the CCA programs that we have.
Haileybury gave me an opportunity to develop myself in many different ways. For example, taking an economic subject which is not available in usual schools, or developing myself in something less STEM, for example, more into debates, more into research, more into something social, which was not previously available for me in my previous school.
I remember last year when I was in year 12, at the start of the year we had HLT applications, which is the house leadership team, and Miss Agirim, who was my head of house at the time for Bottle Fair, she was able to pick me as a deputy house captain for Bottle Fair, and so I think getting that leadership position from kind of like a very early point of my experience here in Haileybury, I think that really helped me integrate into the community at a faster pace because I was able to get that leadership position very early on.
Looking back like 2 years ago, I couldn't even like think in English. Now I didn't know like, you know, some translation to Russian or some terminology I learned here. And definitely, you know, it changed the way how I think.
After a year of being here, I'd say Haileybury is something that has completely changed my life and the direction in which I am going now, because I would have never assumed I could do drama and acting, but I did. I would have never assumed I could do like research in the physics field, but I did.
Haileybury definitely has been a life-changing experience for me, because without Haileybury I wouldn't do as well as I did my last year, and I wouldn't go to prestigious universities I got admitted to. So I think getting into Haileybury was a turning point into my life and in my journey as a whole.
Now all of our students thinks it's normal to apply to the Ivy League. It's normal to apply to Oxford and Cambridge. It's normal to get a scholarship. Yeah, that's what we do. If you want to get in a good place, you got to come here, because and that's thanks to the scholars, because they're here. They motivate everybody to get better.